Hello, warriors, and welcome to another week of my blog. I am a certified life and wellness coach, and I work with moms as in their parenting role, or really any role that they are in life, but to give them tools to manage their emotions and empower them. And this week, it's all a celebratory blog week because it's my birthday. Yay! By the time you watch this, I will have already celebrated my birthday. And I will be heading home from a trip that I took with my partner to celebrate my 46 years here on Earth and our relationship. It's our 18-month relationship, which is really yay. If any of you know my story, it's just it's a wonderful time in a life that I have created, and that is why my blog post I wrote about some things. I'm just going to dive right in. I love birthdays and I love getting older. Yes, you heard me. I love getting older. I love it. It's been my experience that each year keeps getting better and better. As a cognitive coach, I know that if we direct our brain to search for evidence in certain areas, it will find that evidence. If I tell my brain I'm lazy, it will look for and find evidence of how that's so. If I tell my brain that the future is bright, it will look for and find evidence that that is so. Your brain is powerful, so make sure it's working for you and not against you. My point here is to focus on how I love getting older. This is my goal in life, to keep getting older and to focus on all the many benefits of getting older and how great it is. As a cognitive coach, I believe in the importance of living consciously, i.e. being aware of my thoughts, my feelings, and how those are driving the actions and the results that I see in my life. I pause to bring awareness to how I'm spending my individual days, and every so often I pause to reflect on the bigger picture. Right now I'm pausing to reflect on the bigger picture. Here are 6 main lessons I have learned in my 46 years. 1, life happens for me. Look around and listen. Everyone has hardships and everyone has a story to tell. How they tell it says a lot about how they view themselves and their lives. What are you focusing on? I could tell you about my past in a way that would have you say, "Oh, poor Susie, I can't believe that." Or I could tell you about my past and have you think, "Wow, Susie, what opportunities, what a life." What are you telling yourself? I choose to tell myself the latter story of my past. Why? Well, I can't change the past, so why shouldn't I think of a past and the things that have happened to me in a way that leave me feeling empowered? I truly believe that everything that's happened to me has happened for a reason, to make me into the woman that I am today. If I hadn't had my past romantic relationships, I wouldn't be in this out of this world relationship that I'm in now. If I hadn't had the parents I had and the experiences I've had with them, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to examine how I want to show up as a parent for my boys. I could go on, but my point is, your past is what you make of it. You cannot argue with your past. It happened. There are no old thoughts about your past. What you're thinking right now in this current day about your past is what is driving your present reality. Why not remember it and think about it in a way that serves you, that puts you as the victor, not the victim? I choose to think life happens for me. Yay, that's just number 1. Number 2, parenting is more about them teaching me than me teaching them. My kids teach me about myself every single day. What do I want my kids to do? What do I want them to be? This is all rooted in my past and my beliefs. It's more about me than them. What do they do that makes me happy? What do they do that pisses me off? Well, first of all, Emotional Management 101 reminded us that they can't make me happy or pissy. It's my thoughts that make me feel that way. It's my thoughts about what they're doing or what they're not doing that create my feelings, and that's all on me. I get to examine how my past, how I was parented, and how my views on parenting are affecting me as a mom for my boys. The thing that bugs me about my kids are the things that bug me about me. Sort of hard to look at, but it's true. Think of a piece of your school that was uncomfortable for you. Maybe you didn't make a team, or maybe you weren't invited to a certain party. What did you tell yourself about that? How is that showing up today? What you told yourself will show up in your parenting now. If you believe and you're telling yourself that you didn't have lots of friends because you weren't on a specific team, you will probably try to push your child to try out for a team that they don't want to be on. If you believe that you missed out on opportunities, maybe some parties or some friendships, because of an after-school job that you took, you might discourage your son from a work opportunity that he's really interested in. How do you feel when you go pick up your daughter and see her sitting and reading while the other girls are racing around? Or how do you feel when your son says he doesn't want to play in the band anymore? Your reactions and your thoughts about your child's actions are your responsibility. Consciously parent. I love conscious parenting. When I'm aware that I want to push my son to do something he doesn't want to do because I think it would bring him happiness, I get to choose to back off. What makes me happy might not make my kid happy. We are different beings and we will have different experiences here on earth. The more consciously I examine my past and am aware of how it's showing up in my present, the more intentionally I can parent in this present moment. Lesson 3, I'm responsible for my life. That's my lesson. I am my knight in shining armor. I'm responsible for the energy I bring into the room. I'm responsible for the results I see in my life. I get in my life what I put up with. How else can I say it? I choose which thoughts to focus on. The thoughts I choose to focus on make me feel a certain way. When I feel certain ways, I act certain ways. The life I live is a result of what I do or don't do, the actions I take or the actions I don't take. I told myself otherwise for a long time. I looked around to blame others and others, like external situations and circumstances in my life. Sorry, Susie, it's on you. It's all me, which is actually great news. No sorry necessary. I am living a life I have created. If I don't love my situation, I can choose to change it now, later, or never. But it's my responsibility, and in my opinion, that's a magnificent thing. Number 4, getting still has brought me to life. What do I mean by that? This October marks the 2nd year that I have been meditating most every day. Meditating has changed my life. How? Many ways, but the most noticeable is that I am calmer. Meditating has helped teach me that I am not what I am thinking. I am not my thoughts. It has helped me see that my thoughts are what they are, sentences in my mind. They're not necessarily true. This has helped me step back and not react to each thought passing through my head during the day. If I can do it when I'm meditating, lying on the trampoline, which is where I like to meditate, or lying on the floor, I can also do it when I'm standing up surrounded by my kids or surrounded by clients or whatever it is. I am more aware of how the thoughts I'm choosing to focus on drive my day. I'm calmer, less reactive, and more present in my moments. It does not happen overnight. Like I didn't meditate once and was like, oh, but boy, can I tell the difference 2 years later. Buddha sums it up perfectly. I guess someone says that he was asked what he gained from meditating, and he replied by saying nothing. But let me tell you what I have lost. Anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity. The same is true for me. Getting still, learning to find time each day for stillness has helped me dive in and feel more alive in my life. Lesson 5, my relationship with me is the most important relationship in my life. Yep, you heard that right, and no, that is not selfish. In fact, it's completely unselfish. We cannot love anyone else more than we love ourselves. If there's something we don't like about ourselves, we will see it in others and be critical of them. Only when we can see our faults and our imperfections for what they are, pieces that come together to create one outstandingly magnificent whole. Only when we can see that are we able to shine our love on others. Yes, this includes our children. My relationship with my sons comes after my relationship with myself. I lived for many years putting them first and almost killed myself. Literally, I ended up in the hospital. I can only care for them as well as I care for myself. I can only love them as well as I love myself. Remember rule number 2, the parenting. I can only care and love my partner as well as I love myself also. The more I understand and love myself, the less I look to others to heal or love me. I used to look to others to validate most everything I did. I looked to others to define how good of a mother I was. I looked to others to define how I viewed and thought about my body. I looked to others to validate my work. I looked to others to recognize how I was showing up in this world. No more. Over a period of many years, I've learned to look to the one person whose opinion of me really matters. Mine. What do I think of my mothering? What do I think of my body? What do I think of how I'm showing up in this world? My answers to those questions will drive my ability to shine my light and pour my love on those around me. I choose to highlight the most important relationship in my life, the one with me. And number 6, perhaps one of the harder ones to accept, I will never be quote unquote done. Just like the laundry is never really truly done, because as soon as you finish it, the kids throw in something else or I throw in something else. Just like the laundry's never done, I will never reach a point in my self-growth where I think, bam, I'm whole, boom, I'm done. Each and every day brings an opportunity for growth. Sometimes it's growth I welcome, and sometimes it's growth I resist. In the end, I learn from it all. There are moments when I want to climb up on my roof and cheer because I feel grand, body and soul. There are moments when I want to curl up on the couch and just lie there and cry and complain. I have learned that both are necessary. I consciously pause to celebrate the little and the big wins of my life when they're happening. I also consciously pause to examine the little and big sadnesses of my life. What are they trying to teach me? Remember my rule number 1? Everything in my life happens for me, good and bad. It is up to me to learn from it and grow through it. Looking back at dark periods in my life, I realized that breakdowns led to breakthroughs. Shit happens. How I choose to learn from it is up to me. Humans are either in a state of growth or regressing. They either grow or they shrink, expand or contract. Sure, some days are harder than others, but if I don't experience the darkness, I wouldn't appreciate the light. As a human, I am wired to grow and evolve until it is my time to die. I have learned to embrace the learning, regardless of the form it comes in. I am done, and I just want to say that I am overwhelmingly grateful to be able to celebrate my 46th year here on Earth. I have created a life that I love. Forces have come together in my life to lead me here today, and I am just greatly anticipating the next 46 and more. I am profoundly grateful that you all are sharing a piece of this life here with me also. I would love to hear what you've learned from your time here on Earth, and I would also love to hear what you think of any of my 6 lessons that I have imparted. Until we talk again, go get 'em, warriors. This is our one marvelous life and our one chance to just shine out like the superstars we are. Let's go for it.